Welcome to the Boss Mode Podcast, where we discuss the future of work.
Welcome back to the Boss Mode Podcast. Today, we've got a founder who is living the future of work right now. Haven Lough, the founder of Haven Skin, a fast-growing skincare brand, a social media creator with 4 million cumulative followers, and he's the host of his own podcast. Now, what makes his story stand out isn't just the products or the audience. It's the way he's running an entire brand, lean, fast, and smart. Now, as a solo founder, Haven is the product developer, the marketer, the content creator, the customer support team, all of it. And instead of hiring a big staff, he's using AI as his silent co-founder, automating what he can, extending his reach, and putting every saved dollar back into product. This is the playbook for the next generation of consumer brands, led by creators with vision and drive. Today, we'll dig into how Haven balances being both a founder and a creator, his playbook for using AI to stay lean, and the lessons that aspiring entrepreneurs and seasoned veterans alike can take from his journey. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I feel like some special cool guy, but I'm just a 19-year-old guy from Florida. So not only am I a founder, but I'm a very young founder, which is why I think I connected really well with David, because I've been able to witness this AI generation and not be behind it. I grew up with AI launching right away. It was right when I was in school, when Playground on ChatGPT or OpenAI came out. And ever since then, I kind of been in love with AI. I actually put most of my friends onto AI. So before ChatGPT, there's this feature called Playground, and I was one of the first people that found it through a TikTok. And I put all my friends on it. A lot of people are doing schoolwork through it. I did some assignments through it, but I did all my exams myself. Never cheat on that stuff because actually I'm pretty good at learning the material. I just don't like doing the busy work. But yeah, I'm really honored to be on this show. I'm excited to dive into my founder story. AI definitely has served a huge role in it, and I don't want to discredit though. There have been some people that have helped me as well. It's not my only thing that I use. There are people, but I've definitely had a very lean team, and that's because of AI. There's so many tasks I've been able to operate myself or having a team member operate through AI that typically you'd have to hire someone for. And because I think of my age and also just my mindset when it comes to AI, I've been able to manipulate it into being the tool for me to scale my business to what I could never have imagined.
I'm getting my mind blown right now just because like Haven's younger than my kid.
Really? How old
Yeah.
your kid?
Well, my stepson Finn, he's turning 21 in March. And I was sitting here going like, yo, you guys could be hanging out in the same class. Like,
Literally,
this is
that's insane. Does he go to school or is he in college?
well, he's over in college now, so he's doing engineering and psychology.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. Like some wild stuff over there. So mechatronics guy, he wants to build robots and like put AI into robots and stuff like that. But I'm just sitting here going, yeah, for sure. It's a wild place.
Wow, that's awesome. What school is it, you said?
So it's here in Australia. It's called University of Queensland.
Oh, you're from Australia.
I live in Australia,
Dude,
man.
I want to go to Australia so bad.
Hey, anytime. Come on over.
I'm down.
I'm sure you got a whole bunch of followers in Australia too.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Come on, if you got like 4 million people following you, I'm pretty sure share of audience wise, Australia would definitely hit.
Yeah, it is an English speaking place. No, I gotta go. I've been to South Korea, Bali, Europe. It's one of the places I've been to yet, so I gotta check it out. I think next summer I might have to go.
Let's get it.
There we go. That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
appreciate you guys having me on. I'm super excited to dive into this. Let me know whatever you guys want to cover first, and I'm all about it.
Haven, why don't we start with what prompted you to start this brand? Like, was it you just woke up one day and said, I want to start a skincare brand? Or was there something that happened?
So first off, I actually still go to college. I go to UF. I just switched to online after doing a year in person, and I actually was in college 2 years. I left high school 2 years early to go to college early because I always wanted to be a doctor. I always wanted to be a dermatologist because I just loved watching pimple-popping videos. I'm not even kidding. Originally, when I was like 8 years old, I would watch pimple-popping videos till bed, and I just found them so satisfying. So I just fell in love with skin. It was so interesting to me. I don't know. What do you guys think about pimple-popping videos? You guys think they're gross, or you guys think they're normal?
Love them.
I've never seen a pimple popping video, and I think I'm glad I haven't.
So, confession, I used to be that guy that would be like, "Hey, honey, can I do your whiteheads?" Back when I used to, yeah, I'd be like, "Can I do your whiteheads, please?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" No, I'm like, "But it's cool." Yeah,
dude,
so
that's literally me. Anytime my girlfriend gets a pimple, I beg her, but she never lets me. She's you shouldn't pop pimples anyways. I've learned that.
exactly. That's what they said. That's what they told me.
Satisfying. I love it so much. So I fell into that wormhole when I was young, and I kind of just became really obsessed with skin. And as I grew up and got to high school, I've always been pretty good at school. So I was given this opportunity to leave high school 2 years early and go get my AA while also graduating high school. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get ahead because being a doctor takes 8 to 10 years if you include residency. So I'm gonna get a head start on this. So I did all that, and now I'm at the point where I have 1 year left of college. I'm 19, and in this process, I also built a huge following. I mean, ever since I've been 14, I've been all over our social media. And when I was 14, I had videos getting millions of views, and I kind of took a little break when I was like 15, 16. But overall, most of my life has been on social media, and I built this audience around not only my lifestyle, not only like relatable, cringy videos, but also like the story that I built, the storyline. I think a storyline is so important with any brand. And I've always been interested in making it more sustainable. Social media is not really a sustainable industry. You could fall off in one day. You could get canceled in one day. You could just lose it. You get banned. I've been banned on my account multiple times. And because of my network, I've been able to get it unbanned. But there's so much risk when it comes to social media. So I've always wanted to make it sustainable. But I never just wanted to make merch or something that just like gets rich quick. I've always thought long term. And realistically, you want to not only target your audience when you make a brand, but also something you're passionate about. And then finally, something that solves a problem. And putting all those three things together is a hard thing until one day I just stumbled on it when I was like, my little sister, she was using these products that were really terrible for her skin, and she was buying so many from Sephora. All these little girls, I realized all her friends were going to Sephora, hanging out there, just buying these expensive products that did nothing good for their skin. Literally, just because they're popular and they look cool. They care more about packaging than what it does to your skin, because these little kids don't need all those chemicals and products. So it's like, okay, there's this problem that these younger girls, these younger people are buying these cool, popular products. There's no cool, popular products that are healthy. And I'm also a health freak. I want to be a doctor. I want to help as many people as possible as a doctor. But a doctor can only see a certain amount of patients every day. So there's only a certain amount of people you can help. So it's like, do I approach, just keep trying to help people by being a doctor? Or right now I'm in college, find a way to help people now. I have this platform where my audience is mainly my sister's age. Like a lot of people view me as like their big brother. And it's primarily this younger demographic that's buying skincare. It's their number one purchase. So I have this audience. I found this problem. I have I know people that can help me manufacture it. So, okay, I know how to solve this problem. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this. And I've always been kind of entrepreneurial. I've started drop shipping when I was like 13. It failed.
Right.
I started an online learning platform when I was 16. It also failed. But through those failures, I've learned so much. And I think it took me to where I'm at now. And also the power of AI. When I started this brand, there was AI. So I could use it to tell me what to do if I didn't know what to do, to tell me, research competitors and see what they were doing. There were so many benefits that AI played into it. So I kind of built it. It took me about 2 years to get our first product out. But now, after working on it for a while, I definitely have been able to narrow that time. So our future products, we might have new one coming out in December. But it's definitely been an interesting journey. So that's my story, why I started it, kind of what the problem was solving, and where I am now.
AI can accelerate and help you get to a destination faster if you know how to put it to work and harness it. But what matters a ton is where you're coming from and that vision for where you want to be. What are you projecting yourself towards? And it's really good to hear that you're thinking about, when I heard you talk about, as a doctor, there's a limit to the number of patients that I can see. Well, once you become a doctor, so how can I make an impact that is maximum good at maximum scale? Because it's like the depth of good, but also the scale of good that matters. And that net impact is something that it's just good to see an entrepreneur thinking in that way as a part of their origin, their path to becoming the creator, the business person that you've become. So super impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. No, that means a lot. I think that at the end of the day, not just is it, I think, good to have that mindset, but I've noticed just throughout social media, being in it for 5 years, authenticity and a good reason to why you do things will always last longer, be more successful, and eventually give you more purpose. I've had moments, when I started social media, where I got to make a video that was a lie or was just for views. And I've noticed when I'm just authentically myself or try to push out a good message, recently I've been doing a lot of Christian content. And I feel like when I'm pushing that message out, even if it's not as viral, people are impacted and feel good about it. It not only strengthens my community, but also it makes me feel like I have more of a purpose. And compared to every other influencer who goes up and down, I'd rather just be authentically myself. And that's kind of apply those same principles to my brand. I want to have an authentically good brand that authentically helps people. And that's kind of like why I think, and I know it'll succeed because I will make it succeed. That's my mindset around why I also have those principles incorporated into my brand.
You seem like a really intentional person, like forward thinking. Talk me through 13, 14-year-old Haven deciding to then go into like, I'm going to do the social media thing. What was the thinking there? Was it just, I'm just going to give it a shot. I've got something to say. I'm just going to share content because everyone else is doing it. Or were you thinking like years ahead?
So I would say it's a really good question. No one's ever asked me that before. Social media kind of,
That's what I'm here for.
it just, yeah, it just kind of happened. So I've always been interested in making videos. When I was a little kid,
Right.
I would make videos all the time, iMovie, stuff like that. I've just been very passionate about putting my face on the screen, just making something cool. And I kind of think I took that with me because when I was 14 in high school, was making videos. And then I made a new account because I think one of them, I didn't like the For You page on it. So I just wanted to get a new For You page. And then I made a video, cringy thirst trap. I'm going to be honest. I had a cringy start. I made the basic, thirst traps. I was in a bathroom. I took my mask off and I was like, did a little lip sync and it blew up. I got 30,000 followers in the first hour. And it was so cool. I was like, this is awesome. Obviously, who doesn't like that dopamine rush of people enjoying what you're doing, people calling you attractive and people giving you attention? Everybody loves attention. So that's kind of how it got started. It was just a random day in school during COVID. And I was like, okay, this is sick. So I started posting a little more regularly, still the same content. And it was awesome. The online experience was super awesome, but there was also, the downside. In person in school, everybody would make fun of you. But I've always been very extroverted, where it's like I've never gotten embarrassed about anything, or I'd never been ashamed. In elementary school, I would just do random things. I would talk on stage. I would just do whatever, and I never really got embarrassed. Because of that, I think I was able to keep going. But I did get made fun of a lot because it was just a new thing. That was back when TikTok was embarrassing to use. No one would use it or admit they were using it. It just came out. It just switched from Musical.ly to TikTok. So like I blew up a little bit, and then everyone was making fun of me. So that experience was very interesting. And I still post. I never stopped posting. I kind of just slowed down as I had more things going on. Soccer started, and then more schoolwork. I was taking the harder classes to get into the college early. All that stuff started. So I kind of slowed down on it. Wasn't as consistent. So I took about like a year and a half of just not super consistent posting. I didn't grow too much, probably 400,000 followers back then. And then 3 years ago, when I went to college, was no longer in high school, I fully committed to it. I was like, I'm not going to miss a single day. I'm going to now, when I was 16 years old, I'm thinking long term. This is going to be my future. I'm going to mold this into a tool that's going to help me do whatever I want to do. Because I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a doctor. How am I going to combine those two things? I know that somehow this is going to play a role. I'm going to play this the best way I can. I haven't missed a day of posting since. And every day, there's some days where it's like I have to do a more viral video. I don't have time to make better, high quality content. But there's days where I can make a lot higher quality content. And I think I've been able to mix both, where I can keep part of my audience, but then also bring this new audience in of me talking about my philosophies, morals, and just lifestyle. And that's kind of my plan right now, just to grow it, but then also branch it off into this brand that I'm building. Also other brands. I'm using actually AI for some other brands too. We can maybe touch on those later on this call. I have some cool stuff to talk about that I haven't even told David. So there'll be some cool stuff that you guys probably want to hear. And then yeah, that's kind of how I got into social media. It's very random, but now after the last 3 years, I've been very intentional with it.
That's awesome. And now in a 2025 type of world, or even last year, right? I think especially at the start of this year, the attention on AI, especially in the world of creators, I think has never been more active, where everyone's like, oh, you can use, like I found this one GPT prompt that gives you 50 different types of hooks, and you can use that for angles and stuff like that. Has your way of ideation or production changed with AI? Or is it still very much the same, very much as you sitting there and coming up with what to post? Because daily that's a really impressive output.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely take a lot of inspiration from other people. I can use AI on the social media side to find other people. But one way that I'm actually going to scale using AI, I think I maybe mentioned to David, this is a new way that hasn't really done by any brands yet, and it's going to really crush. But I'm not really using it for concepts, scripts, or anything like that. It's more like me just taking inspiration from others and doing my own creativity. But a new way that we recently just decided we're going to start doing is, and nobody knows this, and we're probably not going to announce on social media for a while, but we're building an AI character for the brand. So my two buddies, they live pretty close to me. They've built the biggest AI influencers in the entire world on Instagram. One of their accounts is like Granny Spills. And from that, they've learned a lot about creation of AI influencers and AI content. And through that, we were able to make another character called Haven Sinclair. And right now we're just building her out as this basic AI get ready with me girl influencer that's like relatable. And eventually we're going to have this AI influencer, AI caricature for the brand promoting the brand as an influencer, but she's not a real person. And I think that's really going to make some headlines because I think there's been nothing done ever like that.
Her granddaughter, Haven Sinclair, let's go.
Thank you.
That is
I
awesome.
was like opposed for a second to do my name, but I was like, if I want to grow her and eventually tie her into the brand, I think it'd be so cool if her name's also Haven. Maybe I could start off this online beef with her. Like, why does she have the same name with me? Why do all girls have the name Haven? There's so many different avenues where we can use marketing for the character. So we made her name Haven as well. And I think it'll be funny when we tie it into the brand. It'll be really cool.
Talk to me a little bit about how you bring Haven Sinclair to life. Maybe going even as deep as the technology stack that you're using, but more importantly, how do you set the vision for something like Haven Sinclair?
I would say the first thing that's most important that makes it stand out compared to anyone else just doing it is my experience in the influencer industry. I've seen every single influencer that we're modeling Haven Sinclair off. I know what goes viral. I know what people relate to. I know how an audience perceives you just from my sole experience of being in the realm. And I also know what goes viral and doesn't go viral. So I kind of was able to apply that to this. So now as we're scripting these videos, I'm scripting them myself, knowing exactly what these other girls that are popular right now are doing. I mean, there's so many Get Right With Me girls right now. And my brand also looks at them 24/7 because we're also sending them PR for my brand. We're talking about them with paid deals. I know exactly what they make, the exact content. And basically, I'm applying what I know works for them and doesn't work for them, which is a huge thing that any influencer should apply. Any creator, they should take their content, post it every single day and see what works and doesn't work for them, and then apply that to their future content. But I'm skipping the whole phase of Haven Sinclair, having to trial and error. And I'm just taking what I've learned from them and trying to put it into Haven Sinclair. And then we're incubating Haven Sinclair by making her Granny Spill's granddaughter, using the AI influencer network they made into building her into the storyline there. And then eventually I'll build her into the storyline of my brand. So that's kind of how we made her. And that's kind of why I think she may set apart from any other brand making AI influencer. Because first off, they don't have that creator knowledge because these are mostly engineers behind a computer screen. They don't know social media that well. But also they don't have that leverage to incubate an AI influencer and make it popular and make it part of the storyline that makes it actually matter.
If we think about somebody who has created something at massive scale, there's an element of world building that takes place. If we think about, I don't know, I'm watching Foundation on Apple TV right now. We think about Isaac Asimov and how he built not just the universe building that went into that. When I see what you're doing, when I hear you talk about going from Granny Spills to Granny Spills' granddaughter and that connection, the relationship, and then how that relates to you in your own way, you're doing world building as the basis of your brand building and even before thinking about the tacticals. That's brilliant. And it's incredible that so early in your career, that's become such a natural expression for you.
Thank you. No, yeah, I definitely have learned that story and world building is the most important thing when it comes to brands, social media, anything. People need a reason to watch, an actual storyline to follow. And I think that with AI, as I know that's the topic of the podcast, with AI, I'm actually able to do that without having to spend a lot of capital or use too much time. It's all based with just AI. These are AI influencers. We're prompting them using AI. We're using AI tools. AI has been able to leverage us into building this world and story that we would not have been able to do otherwise. And I think being young and hopping on that wave early, I mean, the people that made Granny Spills made Granny Spills the day that VO launched, the day that was able to make videos through prompting. They were there. They made it. That's why they're so big. That's why they're the biggest. So that is the advantage that we have, and that's kind of one of the just huge benefits of AI.
See, that's the one thing that that makes me wish I was younger again. Just the availability of time. Because I'm just in meetings and I've got my senior leadership thing on Friday and I got to prep for this and that and the other. And then I'm sitting there going like, but VO3 is waiting for me. I need 4 hours to just toy around with it. Nano Bananas is right there. Let me jump in.
Didn't you overhear Putin and Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping talking about radical life extension? If you just hold out for a little bit longer, we're going to live till 200. And if we hold out even longer, then maybe infinite life is possible. We are still young.
Did they hang out with Brian Johnson? Did they? Don't die now. That's Brian Johnson's whole
I think that there's a lot of truth to this. We are still very young, because of two things. Yes, I think that lifespan is extending, but also what we can do in each year is becoming, it's so much denser now. There's much more we can accomplish in a year, much more we can accomplish in a month, much more we can accomplish in a week. And I think that's the lesson that Haven is sharing right now, that what used to take months, you can now, and dealing with all sorts of people, you can now compress that into a much shorter cycle with a much smaller team and get a lot more done. So the years we do have left, I think, will be incredibly productive.
Almost definitely.
We'll have to get you a DAI avatar for your 4-hour strategy meeting.
Yeah, we might have to.
So you can spend more time with Nano Banana.
Maybe that's the future. We just make AI influencers for everyone, even the influencers.
Like,
everyone just AI.
Just the Hey Gen is like everywhere.
Yeah, literally. No, that'd be insane. I'm really curious to see how this AI influencer industry goes. I mean, obviously it's very new, but I think being in it at the start is going to be super cool to see it unfold.
Well,
Yeah.
Haven, that's actually something that I wonder, you as a creator, and that's a part of your income blend, right? So you as a creator, that's part of how you put food on the table, right? So in that situation, from that perspective, seeing the disruption that's coming in the creator industry, where now you've got K-pop bands, groups that are entirely AI. I saw this music video that came out recently, and it looked like a normal K-pop music video, and it was all AI. The music was great. I think it's Suno AI producing great bangers right now. I wonder how you feel about that as an influencer. Is there a risk of, or a potential near-term outcome where AI influencers start crowding out human influencers?
Obviously, you want AI influencers to have this connection and relatability and conversion from their audience, which is kind of what we're hoping for with Haven Sinclair. But also from the creator perspective, I see that it also has downsides. You know, one huge thing that people enjoy about influencers, especially now, maybe at the start they cared more about them doing a viral trend or something funny, but now people just care about having somewhere they can authentically connect to, be relatable to, or understand and feel like they're real. I think that's like the one thing that AI influencers miss. I think that overall, it's really hard to establish a connection with something that's not real. I can talk about a life experience and people will feel bad for me. My buddy, he just talked about him losing his uncle on social media. And not just because I'm a friend, I felt bad, but his entire audience was feeling bad. They were also mourning with him. And part of that experience, like, it's a human experience. Like, we're all humans. We're not going to be able to connect with something that's not real. So there is that downside where I don't see it taking over the influencer space, because people watch influencers because they're influenced by these people who they want to be like or they're inspired by. But I do see there definitely being a huge influx of AI influencers, because outside of these influencers that you can connect with, there's so many influencers that you can't connect with that are still viral. There's people that are on the street doing interviews, just promoting certain topics or asking people questions. That type of content that can be replicated with AI. It's not really connection building. And there's also people that will cook. If you can have an AI influencer teaching you how to cook, it's the same value as a regular person teaching how to cook. So there's these influencer niches that can easily be taken over and wiped out, but there's also these influencer niches that no one can replace their audience, because they're all relatable. They're real people and they're followed because of their personality in life, while people that showcase a high value skill can easily be replaced. So I think for me, I'm not too worried, because I think I've been able to create that sense of authenticity and connection with my audience. But for a lot of influencers I know, I definitely see them being completely wiped out, especially cooking. I think cooking influencers, it'll be really hard for them to stay alive when AI gets to the level where they can just teach you how to cook something. And it's very aesthetic. It's very fast paced. It's very perfectly edited and just amazing. It's like, I definitely see two sides of the coin where AI can take over influencers, but also can't take over influencers.
And I think, Haven, you are, the way that you're thinking about Haven Sinclair, I think you are in a very unique position, right? For two reasons. Just to riff on what you were saying before, I'm completely with you around AI influencers. And, you know, I've been watching the AI influencer space pre-VO3, and just, you know, all the stuff that a lot of it was stills, right? And then some really janky cling type stuff for like Chinese video model type stuff. And as I was watching the space, I'm going, oh, okay, so this is kind of how the game's working. Like AI influencers, or just AI content in general, that whole like AI slop movement that was there for a while, people are liking and subscribing and following and commenting because it's like over the top, right? They know that it's AI and they know that it's not a human behind it, but there's some kind of novelty behind it, or like it's funny, it's a Yeti blowing stuff up, you know, stuff like that, right? Those ones that were going crazy. And then you've got the human creators who you feel you have a connection with, like a parasocial relationship, and you go like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for you that you're graduating soon or whatever it might be. You've got the perfect setup because Haven Sinclair sits within your brand, has the lore of Granny Spills, who's been spilling tea and designer receipts since 1950. I'm just checking out I'm still looking at the website, by the way, and the IG. It's awesome. So you've got, I think that setup is so awesome and the way that you explained it, I'm so in love with, because it's such an elegant way of breaking down the survivability of any type of creator. For us, for example, we work a lot of brands and we run their ads. And part of running ads is, one, thinking about the type of creative that needs to go into the ad machine, but then also all the partnership and whitelisting ads that we're going to use creators for too. And to your point, the ones that crush are always the ones that are so authentic that you go, this person, I don't feel like this person's trying to shove any type of sale down my throat. I just love them using the thing, talking about it. You know, that one video I remember when Kourtney Kardashian launched Let Me Live, her supplement brand, and she was doing her seating in her PR boxes and managed to hit this one TikToker who's also an actress. And she just sat there and ranted about this thing and went, I did not believe a single thing that you're telling me that this thing's going to help me sleep. I didn't believe. And it was just a long rant, did not play by any type of ad rules whatsoever. No strong hook, nothing in between, like no good practices. That thing got like 7.2 million views, just a ton of impressions. So I love the way you're thinking about it, man. Like, I think you like, I don't know whether it was intentional or not, but having Haven Sinclair tied to the brand, tied to you, tied to the grandma, I think you got it cornered, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely want to touch on what you just kind of said when it comes to performance in the marketing world, just like ads overall. I think brands are getting a little smarter, but I've seen the most conversion from my page if I do a brand deal where I'm just talking authentically. If I have a script or creative that sounds like an ad, it's not going to convert. It's not going to do well. And I think brands are catching on that, but they're still very behind. And I think that's a really good thing you're realizing. I think because you have also an agency you said or something like that, which I'm pretty sure you work with a lot of brands and stuff like that. So I think that's a really good thing you understand, is that when a creator is authentically themselves, it actually helps the brand. They don't need a creative. They just need, maybe a talking point, what the brand wants them to cover. But overall, they should be authentic to their audience, where it feels like they're just ranting about a product or telling their honest opinion on a product. And that's kind of what we're doing with our brand right now. All of our paid stuff or all of our PR, we're literally saying, give an honest review. That's all we want. I just want you to give an honest review. And that's how we're kind of promoting it right now. We just want honest reviews, because what happens is kind of the fun we're creating with my brand is I'm able to generate millions of views for the brand. And there's a very low conversion with my brand, because a lot of my viewers are low quality viewers, because I build a lot of relatable viewers as well. So I'm able to get millions of views, and there's this funnel and there's this search term on all my videos where it's like, if it's a video of me getting views of my brand, they search honest reviewer. Is Haven Skin actually good? And then they go into this funnel where we have these influencers that are giving this honest review, and that's what makes them buy. It's not me promoting the product. It's people seeing that other people authentically like the product. And that's kind of what you need. Any brand needs authenticity, a part of their brand. Even if they're getting millions of views or buying, Super Bowl ads or getting this stuff, they want to see people actually enjoy the product and actually like it and enjoy, like, love it. That's what makes people buy a product.
Totally. And you're using the right type of messaging at the right type of intent also to then go, well, I understand which one is there for mass distribution, get the eyeballs, bring them in, introduce them to the fact that there's this thing called Haven Skincare. And then clearly they're going to be the follow-up questions, which is like, is this a scam? Is it really going to work? Am I going to have my face like burned off? And then just to have creators go, no, that isn't the case. This is me using it, demo or whatever it might be. And then that's the conversion point down the line, which I completely love. And what I love, to bring this back to AI also, is it seems to me it's really clear in your head which elements should be delegated out to AI and which one should really be kept sacred and human, and letting, the right vehicle drive towards the right outcome. Where a lot of the conversations that I have tend to be, how do we AI everything? And I'm going, girl, you don't want to AI everything. Come on, everything.
I know. I completely agree. That's kind of one thing I tried to mention lightly at the start. David referred to it as my co-founder. Yes, AI has played a huge role, but also there have definitely been some crucial people that have helped me with my brand. I have two people right now that I'm working with, Joe and Justin, and they've helped me, give that human perspective, that human touch to it, whether it's customer support. And a lot of people just have AI do their customer support. And I've had AI do some customer support, but some of our customer support is from an actual human. Because when we create this actual feeling that the brand is a real person, someone emails us, they're talking to a real person. Because I have found that to be an issue with me. If I ever talk to a brand, I hate, and I think everybody hates talking to a robot. They hate talking to AI. They can tell when it's AI. I mean, when you feel like an actual person is talking to you, like you want to actually support that brand, because it's like, okay, these are authentic people. So there's definitely times where it gives and takes, but overall AI can definitely lean your team and scale it fast, but you still need those crucial players that keep your brand human, because humans want to support humans. They want to support robots.
Totally. Have you, speaking about keeping it human, have you called any of your customers yet?
Have I called them?
Yeah.
I haven't called directly, like after someone bought a product, I would just call them, because I feel
Can I
like,
give you a
it's
play?
invasive.
No, can I give you a play? So my buddies run Breeze, which is a beverage brand, which is like blowing up right now. And so a play is, it's great for content, it's great for ads, and it's also great for customer relationships. Literally, either you can run a raffle, run a giveaway, or just call a customer. And just like the content is phone, speaker, someone filming. You're calling a customer and go, hey, is this whoever? By the way, it's Haven, like from Haven Skincare. Just want to call, say hi, and also let you know that we've chosen you to win the bundle where you get like the next 6 months, because we just value your business so much, and that ad slaps. So that,
Dude,
as a
that's
piece of
actually
content,
really
promo.
Thank you. That's
Wow,
some
dude,
game. Thank you for
yeah,
the secret
I got
sauce.
you.
I'm gonna run that. You're gonna see that on my channel soon. I'm gonna make a video like calling a customer. That's game. That's actually awesome, because I've been some live streams where I've like had people on them. I've sent emails myself, but I just never thought to just call someone that bought it, because I didn't know if they'd be upset with me calling them. Honestly, it's like, I think it's really good. I feel like if they're buying the product already, they know me on social media, and they probably follow me. So like, it wouldn't be opposed to a phone call. So that's a really smart play. I'm actually gonna write that down right now. I want to do that.
Yeah, do it.
So
Do it. So you play this game for long enough, and you start to pick up on a few myth busting or not traps, but just like myths that really need to get busted. Number one, once you get to a certain scale and a certain like size of email list, there's no such thing as sending too much SMS. Sure, if you're sending it like every like 5-10 minutes, that is too much. But when it's like Black Friday season, for example, or anything like that, we're fighting for attention with everyone. So going almost like an every other day or even once a day with a message to different types of angles. What you got to watch out for is effectively what is the earnings per send or per post versus what the unsubscribe rate is. And you can just play with those two numbers. And if the unsubscribe rate stays the same, but your earning per post is starting to go up, now you've got a really fun game to play there. That's number one. And then number two, customers love getting called by genuine people from their brands, because when was the last time someone from a brand called you and said, hey, I wanted to call you because I really value your business. Thank you so much for buying our stuff. I've got a few quick questions for you. Do you remember the ad that you saw? Like, what was the thing that you saw that made you buy? If you didn't see the ad, would you have bought? And then the final one, you can start like doing this type of testing to then go, what would have made you not buy? And that can turn into different angles, different types of ads, different types of creative, different types of like objections. So that's kind of stuff that we do. It's a fun game.
100%. I'm definitely into that. Actually, I think it's gonna be like a podcast segment I make for my podcast, where like I call someone on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be fire. Yeah, totally.
Dude, I see so much. That's something I will definitely implement. That is some sauce. Thank you for that sauce. That's some game. Thank you so much.
Always happy to share. Always happy to share the sauce.
Thank you.
I've known D since what's it been now? It's been close to 10 years, maybe. When I was doing Shaker, we were a meta business partner, and we did like 1 billion videos for the Amazons and the Alibabas and all those guys, and smaller businesses as well. But I did we did a live broadcast together way back then too.
Totally.
And I just remember that D is just he's a strategic thinker, and he's a remarkable source of ideas that, as you put it, D, ideas that slap.
You got to make it slap. So here, can I tell you what my secret is? It's nothing to do with like studying stuff or watching YouTube videos. I just happen to have a 20-year-old at home. So I'm just going to watch him and be like, oh, so that's what y'all are doing these days. Okay, got it. Steal. Think about how it works, how to monetize, how to turn it into performance. And then it works.
Dude, I've done the same thing with my little sister. My little sister's like literally 12 or 13, and I don't know if she might have just had her birthday. But anyways, I will study her. Whatever her and her friends are doing, I ask her questions. Like, it's so cool to see because that's my audience. Those are the people that I'm targeting. I'm learning so much from my little sister being she has nothing, she knows nothing about business, but she knows what's cool. She knows what's popular. She knows why people want something. She knows if something will be bought. She literally can tell me instantly to my face, oh, no one's gonna buy this packaging. And she has no idea about business. And she's right. I asked my girlfriend the same question. My girlfriend's like, yeah, your sister's right. And it's crazy. Like, studying the younger generation, they're always gonna be ahead. I feel kind of old because I feel like I'm like getting out of that. I feel like the younger generation now, they're a little bit ahead of me. They know what's cool and popular. It's like I hope I'm not phasing out soon because I'm starting to feel it a little bit because of her.
Hey, Haven, you want to hear something funny? That feeling never goes away.
Yeah.
So just to kind of prep you for like the years to come, you'll always feel behind because it's like, oh man, really? Another thing? You guys move so fast.
I know. I'm scared, but that's why I'm trying to get ahead now because I know then I'll be like, oh yeah, good for you. I'm chilling doing what I'm doing. I don't need to be ahead now.
Yeah. Do you use AI a lot for your audience research?
I think my main audience research is watching content. I think you need to consume a lot to understand what's popular. You need to look in the comments. You need to watch that stuff. I use AI to summarize current events sometimes or give me summaries on my content, kind of what works well, what doesn't work well. There's AI tools that can like dive into stuff. I also use it to schedule content. A lot of content can be scheduled. So if I make a bulk amount of content, I can schedule it. And if I want to post on all platforms, I can just post it on TikTok. And then I have AI that will automatically post it on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. That's kind of the main ways. AI, it's kind of like repurposing content and diving into my analytics. Honestly, for competitive research, I just kind of watch and consume. I think you need to be a consumer to be a producer. You really need to understand who you're producing for.
Right. So
that's an incredibly important insight. You need to consume to be a creator. One theme that I've spent a lot of time thinking about is that it's important to be a net creator. So create more for this world than we consume. But that doesn't mean don't consume. Because if you stop consuming, you have less to work with. The idea of learning, school is consuming, studying is consuming. So consumption itself is not inherently bad, but that being said, I think it's still important to always strive to be a net creator, and you're certainly doing that.
100%. No, I definitely agree.
Okay, I want to take that question further. So sounds like you were answering the previous question with like your creator hat on. What about for the brand? So are you using AI for like competitive research with other brands or with potential customer segments? Or is it still the same approach? Like a lot of it's just really you looking through different competitor websites, reading reviews, what their customers are saying, and then thinking about it that way?
There's definitely a huge element of that. I would say my entire team, we all look at, our competitors. I also, ask people what their thoughts. So I asked my girlfriend, what to you makes this skincare brand worthy of buying? Why do you want to buy it? So there's a lot of in-person research that's really important. I read this book, All in Startup, where it kind of talks about how you need to talk to people, your customers, about exactly what they want. If you ask them, if you have this product, how much would you pay for it? Would you even want it? Would this be popular? Would this be cool to you? So we do a lot of research like that in person. That's kind of one of my foundations for when I decide when a business or not is good. I kind of do a lot of research from that. But for AI, there's a lot of research where it comes in. Analyze these reviews for me. Give me the common theme. Analyze these shipping
Love that.
Give me that. There's like, okay, well, analyze this business and give me what their roadmap was, or how long did it take this business to get to this point? Because AI can do more than just do the surface level. AI can do a lot of deep research, which is something that takes a lot of time for us and can save us time. So it's like I can ask AI, tell me the people behind Rode. How many dermatologists do they have? What's their story when it comes to their founding? How long did it take them to blow up? Were they an instant success? Were they not? Or were there big changes in marketing? AI can do all this deep research that it would take me or someone else hours to do, to dive into, to really get an accurate thing. But AI can do it in a matter of seconds or minutes. So that's definitely a huge part of research using AI. But a lot of it's also, that in-person human aspect, just asking people why is a good question. Why this? Why that? Why not that?
So ever since the Mad Men generation, clients have always hated the idea of paying for non-working budget, the research that you just described. And if you're talking about the depth of research that you just described, I think that's dozens of hours of what would be billed to the client in that old ad agency paradigm. And today, the brand itself, in partnership with the vendors they're working with, can do that with AI to tremendous effect, probably not just in less time, but achieving a 10x outcome in terms of the quality of analysis that's being done.
Most definitely. I definitely think it's more accurate because AI scours everything. AI doesn't just find the first article that pops up, click it, and then read that. That's what humans do. If I'm researching something, I'm gonna click the first thing that pops up, and there's SEO, there's anything like AI doesn't do that, which is a huge advantage that makes it more accurate. Obviously, AI isn't 100% accurate. If it was, I would get 100% every homework assignment I do in school, but I don't get 100%, so it's obviously not 100% accurate. But AI is definitely more accurate than human, I'd say.
For sure. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this question to both of y'all. Two-part question. First one is favorite large language model to use, your go-to large language model right now.
That's tough. I mean, honestly, dude, you can't go wrong with ChatGPT. Like, I feel like you can make it any way you can. I love to just turn a ChatGPT conversation into an actual agent or person. So I will start a conversation like, you're going to act like this person throughout this conversation. So in my history, there's a bunch of different people, basically. I make these people through at ChatGPT. I really love their ease of access. They're always updating. They're literally there with OpenAI. So I think they're probably always going to be my top use because it's just like it applies to everything from homework to web searching to deep research to image generation's not the best with them. But I think overall answering stuff like that, I just definitely go with ChatGPT most of the time for prompting, all that.
I think that's brilliant.
Nice.
The way that you've landed on something that I think more people need to know about when they're working with a ChatGPT, or in my case, Steve, my favorite large language model that I keep shouting from the rooftops is I think Claude is fantastic.
Well, Claude is good. Claude is good for sure too. I use Claude for some prompting.
Yeah, there are pros and cons to both, but for me and what I look for in a large language model, I think that Claude has really hit the right notes in terms of understanding what I'm looking for and striving to work with me as a almost human-like collaborator. But I think the most important thing is defining these personas. You describe them as agents, personas. This is just like if somebody starts a mug manufacturing business or a skincare line or a speaker company, no matter what kind of business you're starting, at some point you need to start thinking of hiring people. And so you're speccing out the people that you're hiring. That's the job description. It sounds like you've gone ahead and without having to go through the tedium of putting together a job description, get their resumes and interview them and go through multiple rounds and put them on a trial period and maybe learn 3 months, and including the hiring process, maybe that's a 6-month process to hire the right person and get to a true assessment. Is this the right person for me or not? You're doing all of that in the minutes and hours it takes you to have that conversation with ChatGPT because you've specced out an agent, a persona to have meetings with. And the meetings that you have with this persona you've created, that's the chat that you're having with them. These are the meetings where you're structuring their work. You're brainstorming, you're doing strategy, and then you structure the work and you say, all right, well, this is what I want you to get done, and this is how I want you to do it. That ontology is something that you're also doing a very, very good job of. It's really, these are the two big levers that we have, more so than hoping that the large language models get better. The two biggest levers we have are defining personas, i.e. hiring your team, and structuring their work, which is the ontology.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And that's how you get maximum output from a large language model.
Yeah. And not only is it easier and faster, you're also getting fully unbiased work. And also in a way that you can communicate completely honestly. I don't have to worry that I said something harshly to an employee because I'm just telling my AI, do this. Or if they do something wrong, I don't have to think about how am I going to phrase this in a nice way that you basically suck. I'm just going to say, this sucks, do this to the AI. And they're going to listen to me because it's not a human. So it's like you get rid of that self-bias and that whole I have to be nice to you act. Not that I don't want to be nice. I'm nice to my employees, but I'm saying like, you are able to get things done faster when you're not thinking about the human act and you're just thinking about the actual work and output that it's providing.
Even if we think about human teams, the very best human teams are spending less time thinking about tiptoeing around each other's feelings and making sure that we're in a safe place and really focusing on the work. focusing on the issues at hand. And that's something that is liberating, to be able to really focus on the task at hand, the mission, the vision, and how do we create maximum value? How do we create more than we consume? How do we do that in a way that serves our customers in a better manner? I think that it's just so much faster today to iterate to a quality outcome for our customers, thanks to exactly what you're doing with AI right now.
Yeah, no, most definitely. It's a whole new world.
What do you spend the most time talking about AI with? And which persona? Well,
My biggest
which
persona I like
do you
is
spend time with?
my business partner. I have an AI that I basically told not only my entire life to, it has access to my Google Calendar, my emails, it reads everything, it literally knows everything about me. But then also I've given it all my business documents, every single thing we've ever done, our sales, access to everything. It understands my business, understands me, understands our goals, it just understands everything as if the best partner in the world would. And I ask it for brutal, honest ideas. Do you think this would work in this day and age? You think this is a smart move? This is a bad move? And I ask it for advice because I know that no matter what, it's going to give me unbiased, brutal advice. If I ask a friend, like, they're going to just say, oh, that looks so good. Like, yeah, do that. And they're not going to even think about all the pros and cons. But I ask my partner in AI, I'm like, is this a good idea? And it literally says, this is a good idea because it will help you do this, this. But you might have overlooked the fact that it will do this, which could result in bad ways. And having that brutal, honest partner has helped me make so many decisions and avoid making so many decisions that would have probably hurt my business in a good amount.
Hey, so if someone watching this is going, hey, that sounds like a really cool thing that I want to have. Can you talk us through the setup for that? Is that just like a custom GPT with tools? Was that something that you built with some other platform?
So there definitely are other platforms you can use for it. My personal partner is literally just on ChatGPT. I had a conversation. Now you can connect ChatGPT to all your emails and Google Calendar, stuff like that, which is super useful. But I just want to spend a couple hours getting any because you can upload documents as well. I upload any documents that are important for it to understand me or my business. I kind of just talk through. I really like the voice to chat thing where it's like I can just literally spurt out so many words. It doesn't have to have perfect punctuation because AI will just decode it. I just talk to it for hours, give it a bunch of documents, and kind of just made this conversation into a person that understands me. And now, because of ChatGPT's history, I will always have that person there. The only downside is that partner is stuck in ChatGPT 4.0, but I might just copy everything and then just put it into 5, but it doesn't evolve with me. There probably are tools where you can create a partner that evolves with you. I've seen so many companies talk about, AI agents, and I just haven't really looked into that, but I'm sure there definitely are places where you can make an AI agent. I just kind of went the basic route with ChatGPT.
And see, I love that, right? I love that. I love the fact that you're just going, you know what? I just need what I need for right now. I don't need to over-engineer this. I don't need this to be some kind of thing that's going to last for 10 years because things are going to change all the time anyway. So love that you're just going in. It's just a GPT. So for anyone watching and listening, just jump into GPT and just talk to it.
Yeah.
Add some files, do that. Like, you don't have to overthink this. Cause I got buddies who will text me and be like, hey, how do I do this thing, man? I heard about this thing called like RAG. And then there's also like context engineering. And then you got to do this like thing. Do I just plug it in using an API? I'm like, that's too much noise, bro. Just like go to GPT, upload a file.
No, it's GPT can do anything. Like anything you want to do, GPT can do it. Maybe some AI models are better at doing it, but it can do it. It can solve any need you have for AI for sure.
Amazing. So that leads me to my second question, again, posed to both of you guys. What are the 3 to 5 use cases with AI that now you just can't live without week to week? Your most commonly used interactions with AI. Besides Thought Partner, are there any kind of like efficiencies, spreadsheeting, image gen, anything like that? Really curious to know. Haven, if you want to kick us off.
I'll kick us off. So obviously, it has the conversational side that I just touched on. I also really like having it help me with concepts for images. Images aren't really at the level where they are ready to use, but it can definitely give you a good sketch, especially if you're working with a graphic designer where I want it to look like this. So they have an idea, because a lot of times it's really hard to articulate exactly what you're thinking. And AI can help you a lot with that, because you can just have a conversation with it about what you're thinking, and it does a pretty good job at displaying that. So image generation is
that image gen. And what's your preferred image gen? Is it Midjourney? Is it like Canva AI?
So I've used a few. I just started experimenting with Banana. It's been pretty decent. I've used the plain Google stuff. I've used Gemini, I've used ChatGPT. I don't really have like a go-to. It's kind of like all over the place. I've just tried so many. I haven't found like the perfect one yet.
Yeah.
And I've just been kind of always going back to ChatGPT. Like if I need something fast, I just know and love ChatGPT. It knows me. I'm like, it'll probably get a decent rough idea. I'm not actually using this photo, so I don't need to be perfect. But there definitely are softwares like where if you even want it to be perfect, I'm sure you can make a perfect image because AI is evolving very, very fast. I just saw this one video on my For You page where this person made a whole cinematic, I don't know what the word, cinematic like, video. It looked exactly like a reel, and it was like perfect. And it's like this whole line of code behind this generation. Each image was coded, and there's like huge work behind it, but it looked really real. So there's definitely softwares where you can make it high quality, professional, ready to go. I personally just use it for drafts and giving myself an idea of what I want and giving other people an idea of what I'm thinking. But other than image generation, I would say it helps a lot.
This guy here, I think, is one of the best when it comes to image generation with AI. He's just the level of art direction that goes into it. He's doing work that you would expect to see coming out of very skilled multi-person human teams.
Yeah. Wow.
It's unbelievable. So you're right. Like image gen, video gen, it's all possible right now.
Yeah, that's insane. I want to hire. See, now I'm getting to the point now in the business when it comes to, I want to hire people that are good with AI. I want to hire someone instead of hiring a videographer. Why don't I hire someone that's good at prompting with that? Because they're going to save me all the travel costs, all the food costs, all the studio costs. Yeah, it can cut out that workforce, but it also kind of creates a new workforce of people that actually understand it. I would way rather hire someone that can do that. That is a huge asset. And it's so scalable. It's so fast. It creates so much content for us to use. Stuff like that is insanely cool. So yes, AI is also taking away jobs, but it makes you think that it's creating this new wave of jobs, maybe not at a larger scale. It's definitely going to be losing overall, but there definitely are some new jobs created out of just the use of AI.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
That's fantastic.
I've been stalking the student list of all these courses that are teaching people how to do AI photography and AI videos, because that's going to be my candidate list for hiring.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going to be done with the course and all that. So that's what I've been doing. So I've just been I'm just that fish just circling around the waters, being like, anytime now, it's a 3-month course.
You know where to look. You definitely got that newer mindset. You know where to look for your people. A lot of people are still on the resumes and experience. It's really about where you look, and I think that's a really good place to look.
For sure.
Gee, you are crafty.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Born in the year of the rat. Mom and dad were always like, born in the year of the rat. I know exactly what this kid's going to turn out to be like. He's going to try all the angles. That's how I got to pitch Guy Kawasaki back in the day. I like pretty much like online stalked him and then managed to pitch like, the guy who was like Apple's head of ambassadorship for, the Steve Jobs years.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. David, what are your go-to use cases? Like,
so I think orchestrating complex work is something I spend a lot of time having AI do for me. And that in my case, that means writing software. So if I set out a vision for what I want to have created, it used to be that we'd have to hire very big teams just to build the prototype. But now you can vibe code, and there's so much that you can accomplish with vibe coding. There's some best practices, but if you put those into place, you can build complex software as a layperson. And I think that's exciting. Another thing that I'm doing is we do this podcast and we use AI to cut it up into clips for short form video to post to social. I think that AI is incredibly good at that. It just moves so much faster. You get it done in what, 5 minutes of work? It cuts up an hour of footage, and it probably gets it done to the standard of your typical human clipper, which is pretty impressive.
What AI do you use for that?
Well, there are a few out there. Opus and Descript are both good. There's another one that was shared with me recently. Let me find the link for you. It came out of Y Combinator.
I think it still blows my mind a little bit that like at one point Sam Altman was the entrepreneur in residence in YC, and then now he heads up like OpenAI. It's just I'm like, so you were like, if you were a startup like 4 or 5 years ago, just starting an app or something, and you got admitted into YC, Sam Altman's just sitting right in front of you, just like, what?
That is crazy.
That's so nuts.
Yeah. Overlap. That's another one. And I think that I'll have some interesting tools to share with you as well in the coming weeks.
Awesome. There we go. I'm excited to see them. I'm definitely gonna start coping up. I've been using an actual editor for my podcast, but I want to try out and see how Opus AI and all those things compare to it.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
they can do
absolutely.
really good stuff.
And if you have a
You're
human
making your
editor,
editor so nervous, man.
well,
Your
no.
editor's just
Here's the thing about your human editor. Your human editor can use this to get all of that done for you in much less time, and then spend more time adding value to that to make it more just a couple of extra tweaks that aren't in the kind of playbook of these video clipping automation sites. And those tweaks could be the difference maker that makes it more authentic.
100%.
Maybe it's like a blooper and it actually just replays the blooper part if I were to stutter. Maybe it's like replaying the stutter for 30 seconds.
Yeah,
maybe that's it. And that's not something that the
make
AI
it like
is going to do for you.
memeable and make it memeable and all the stuff that like turns humans on.
Yeah, I think AI is best when it's used with humans, not just standalone. I think the combination between AI and humans is unstoppable. A lot of people just view it's like, I'm just going to use AI for this task, but if you combine AI and humans, then the task is going to be at a higher standard than anyone can do or any AI can do.
For sure. Hey, I got
Jensen
another one.
was saying that it's your job will not be taken by an AI. Your job will be taken by a person using AI. So yeah, the robots are coming for your job together with people who it's a very small number of people, who are able to do probably today 10 to 20 times more work than a non-AI native. But soon, I think they'll be doing 100 times, 200, 1,000 times more work than a non-AI native human worker.
Most definitely.
On the topic of AI taking our jobs away, I'm really curious to know, true or false, agree or disagree, Haven, that in the next 5 to 10 years, what's your hot take on this? In the next 5 to 10 years, that people out there, just regular people, should lean more heavily into thinking about being a creator themselves, like growing an audience, putting out content, all that type of stuff.
I think there's already this huge wave of that. I think it's what everyone wants to do. And I think when Gen Z was asked in a survey, I saw, I think around 75% of Gen Z said they want to be influencers instead of like astronauts or firefighters. So I think it's already kind of happening. I think everybody is trying. Everybody wants to do it. You know, when I started, like I made fun of it. Now everybody's asking me how to do it. So there's definitely been a huge shift in exactly how it's viewed and perceived. And I think that's going to continue to grow until everyone wants to be an influencer and creator, because not only is there a huge amount of cash up for grab, but there's also this whole safety of being able to create this audience that resonates with you and not have to worry about AI taking your job.
Well, I'm so happy that you said that, because to hear it directly from you, because I saw that stat too, where Gen Zers are saying that's the name of the game. And when I read that report, I was thinking, yo, but what about the millennials and the Gen X's? I wonder what they think is going to happen. And there's this wave of that too, right? Like you'll see the Dr. Nicole Perez who wrote the book, How to Do the Work. And now she's constantly, and for years now has been on like IG, for example. Andrew Huberman understood distribution also. I think Joe Rogan, like yet another one, same type of deal, but not as feverish as Gen Z, who are just like, I will do this all day. All day.
They know how to do it. They're good at doing it. They're good at making it the right way. I mean, there's definitely so many little aspects of social media that you have to understand and know, like where to cut a video, what text support you should do, like where you should start the video. There's so many important things there. And I'm also seeing, not just to touch on the young generation, but I'm seeing this huge wave of like mom influencers, college people. Like there's still a lot of older people that are trying to tap into it. And it's very unsaturated right now, where I think it's a huge opportunity for millennials to dive into. It's like millennials have so much value to provide, and value in your personal life is exactly what people are looking from social media. You want to authentically share your life story, share those things. And that's one thing that a lot of Gen Z can't offer. Like I've been able to try so many things out, from the business world, from the school world, from relationship world, friend world. Like I've tried so many things out. So I have a lot of value in life to share. And if you're not exceptionally interesting, or you don't have any exceptional stories or anything you're doing that's exceptional, why would someone care about your story? And a lot of millennials have exceptional things that have happened in their lives. They have so many opportunities to talk about these things, and that's how they can kind of get that audience. I think millennials honestly have a better opportunity to become creators than Gen Z, because everybody in Gen Z wants to do it, but Gen Z hasn't amounted to anything yet. Gen Z doesn't have anything to talk about. They don't have any knowledge. They don't have anything of value that they can be attractive. But that's about it. Like Gen Z influencers are all majority popular because of their appearance, but like millennials are able to create these communities with millennials, and not just millennials, but these younger kids can look up to them. So I truly have, the hot take is I think millennials have a better shot right now at being creators than Gen Z.
Let's go.
See, there's hope for us.
Let's go.
I
Look at that
wanna
mohawk.
add-
That'll set you apart with that mohawk.
You're right.
Well,
I love that though.
This is why we're doing this, right, D? I think that we have expertise to share. We have stories to share, and we want to learn as well from others who we bring onto the show. But we both understand. I think we all three of us understand innately on this show that you have to have an audience. I believe that everybody has to be a creator. And so what did Gen Z realize? Gen Z realized that you have to have an audience, because otherwise there's this tremendously inefficient use of your resources, your time and your money and everything, where you're paying a tax for having failed to build that audience. And we look at companies like a Tesla that doesn't spend any money on advertising, zero. And I'm not saying that spending zero on advertising is absolutely the playbook for everybody, but advertising alone isn't the answer. And I think that there's a layer of strategy that Diaz, you as an agency owner, one thing that impresses me every time I talk with you about a hypothetical client or an actual client, you always bring it back to the strategy layer. And the strategy layer, how do you build up that audience and everything? It is so critical. And here's why. There's that adage: if a tree falls in a forest and no one hears it, did it make a sound? If a founder creates a product, but no one hears about it, did they actually create a product? The audience is a part of the product. It has to be. And so you have to have an audience as a creator. There will be no more successful founders who fail to build audience.
I agree. I think that the creator brand realm is about to skyrocket, and I think that is going to be the only brand realm that really skyrockets outside of just AI and software that will continue to be a huge industry.
Your story, Haven, you mentioned when you were 13 you started a drop shipping business, right?
Yeah.
In the drop shipping business, it sounds like whether this has been kind of consciously recognized or it was just naturally absorbed into your approach, I think that one of the lessons that you have internalized is that you can't let the platform, in this case Amazon, have the audience and own the audience. You have to have a direct channel into that audience. And as a creator, that is incredibly powerful. You have a superpower. That's your audience, not Amazon's audience.
Exactly. No, I couldn't agree less. I couldn't agree more.
That's fire. Yeah, especially if you can you can fold that and take it one level deeper and actually get them on an email list. Then that's like, now you got like audience for real, right?
Yeah, direct access, because social media
true.
push your content to everyone that follows you, but you can push that content to everyone on your email list and SMS list.
100%. Hey, if there are, for the millennials out there watching, can you give them some sauce for like 3 things to watch out for if they're thinking like, you know what, this kid's right. Like, I think I've got enough W's and L's under my belt to actually have something to say. I just feel like an imposter because I don't know how to act like these Gen Zers. Maybe they feel like they need to look and sound like that to have permission to start posting on social or actually building an audience. If you had some sauce for them, if you had got to like sit me down, for example, and go like, yo, 3 things, just watch out for these 3 to 5 things that you should be okay to start, what would they be?
For sure, I would start off with saying, find your topic or your niche. If it involves Gen Z, then you have to kind of learn and adapt to be perceived by Gen Z in a positive way. But honestly, if you are trying to share your stories and relate to other millennials aren't expecting you to have hyper-edited Gen Z level content. They're expecting you to have content that they would expect themselves to make, but they just don't have the confidence to make it. They don't have that kick to start making those videos. So as a millennial, I would say first identify your audience. If your audience has to be Gen Z, then you have to, learn and study exactly what they're doing. But most millennials, I'd say they can convert the best. They can build the most loyal audiences when they're just targeting people that are like them. Like that's actually my biggest problem is like with this skincare brand. Yes, I have a younger audience of girls, but like if I was a girl myself, I'd be able to sell to girls so much more. When you're the same as the audience, you have so much more relatability and so much more like trust. And as a millennial, millennials will trust you. So a millennial is going to watch a Gen Z influencer and be like, this is a stupid little kid. Or they're going to watch you, a grown man, and they're like, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like they're instantly going to have that level of respect for you because you've lived a life. Like you've lived so much more, and millennials respect that. So I personally, if I was a millennial, I would target my own generation, which means I don't have to conform to what Gen Z is doing. I can make my own content. And the more unique you are, the better. Obviously, there are foundations of content you want to follow. For example, you want to have a value that you provide, probably some sort of hook or something that draws someone in. Anything in life, any conversation you have, you want to start it off interesting. Obviously, you want to get someone's attention because at the end of the day, you are fighting for attention. But the way you obtain that isn't through like some viral drama comment. It's something that millennials relate to. So that's kind of how I would phrase it: is just target your own demographic. And for sauce, I'd say just be consistent because when you are entering into a niche, and this is a newer niche, it might take a while to break into it. And as you break into it, you're going to learn. The only way to learn is from trial and error. It's like you're going to learn how to make a video. You're going to learn what your easiest way to make a video is. You're going to learn what type of content that you've just fallen into making back over and over and over again. What's the easiest content for you to make? And you're going to just learn all these things as long as you're consistent. Post every single day. Don't miss a day, and you will have the ability to skyrocket and find that niche and find that audience. Just don't give up. Don't stop posting, and just make sure that every single day you're adapting and just make yourself stand apart. Don't just be relatable, but have your own unique take. So don't be afraid to be, a little bit polarizing. Don't be afraid to, share your personality, because everybody themselves, every single person has hot takes. Every single person is a little bit polarizing in some beliefs. Those are what make people relate to you. Those are people like, okay, I agree with this polarizing belief. There are people that, for example, let's go into politics. People hate certain politicians, and they will hate on that politician, and people will be like, I hate that politician too. It's a hot take, and a lot of people don't like that, but a lot of people really like that. So I think it's more important to be polarizing in your own personality than just try to appeal to everyone.
I love that. That was also an ad hack way back in the day before this iOS 14 stuff kicked in, which was you put out ads that would be polarizing so that the two different parties that disagreed would disagree in the comments, which added your engagement. And then so Facebook would just charge you less for the ad. I love that. So let me recite this back. Let me see if I got this right, because I want to be a good Asian student here.
Okay.
Sitting in the front row, got to do the right thing. Know your audience, study what they want, study what they consume, the style, and that. So go look at other creators who are within that space. Think about what your value is, what your hook is, what your uniqueness is to carve out your own little lane. Don't try to blend in, because that's when you blend in. The easiest hack is to target your own demo if possible, so that people, what does Tony Robbins say? People like people who are like them or who they want to be like.
Yeah.
And then be consistent, post every single day, which leads me to my question. Do you batch film or do you in the moment film every day?
I try to film in the moment, but there's times where I have to batch film. It's all on my current situation. But I think people, the more authentic you are, the better. And batch filming isn't as authentic. I mean, it depends on your content, but my content is about my lifestyle. So I'm traveling, I'm doing things. People want to know what's going on in my life. So it's harder for me to batch film. But say you're someone that's like a finance creator. Say you just want to provide people your knowledge in finance. You can film a bunch of finance clips, because it's not really about what's going on in your life. It's about the knowledge you can provide. So if you're just providing certain high value skill and knowledge, then I would say you can batch film. But if you're trying to go the lifestyle route where you create this personal life driven audience that know what you're doing, then you kind of want to go more the live posting route.
Totally, capture that moment and the vibe and the emotion that you're feeling in that moment too. Thank you for the sauce. That was absolute. That is so fire.
I'm happy to help. There we go. I want to see your videos pop on my For You page now. I want to see the new D Dog.
I am.
You should get your username.
Right. I am. So real talk. Do you guys know Tony from LC Sign? Tony from LC Sign is a dude in China, right? And so they sell neon signs. They're just a manufacturer in China with 1.5 million followers on YouTube. They've got
I have seen this guy.
Yeah. So this guy,
me too.
the first 3 seconds will always be a meme. And then it's Tony first of like his early videos were all like super Chinese accent. And then he's just
If a
picking
man
up-
has enough time to go into the bathroom, he has enough time to cheat. And it just stuck with me.
Did you just chill me?
No, I just took a shit. Looking for a sign that really makes your brand stand out, there's a critic LED.
like it makes no sense. The hook and what he's selling makes no sense. But because it makes no sense, he's now like got so many, like the distribution is insane, number one. And then number two, he just got invited to Singapore for like a sponsored Razer event, you know, the gaming mouse and the gaming brand. So I'm this close from leaning into my Asian heritage and actually doing a series called the Shopify Sensei.
That could be funny. That could definitely target the niche.
Just to have fun with it, because that's my biggest blocker is a lot of the time because of the stuff that I talk about this day in, day out. So when I get in front of the camera, I'm like, oh, here we go again. But if I can have fun with it, it might stick, it might not. But taking that experimental mindset, I think, is the blocker that I'm
And make
have.
it like you're on a FaceTime. A lot of people roboticize themselves. You want to talk as if you're just talking to a person. Like that roboticization doesn't really work that well anymore. People just want to hear you talk as if they're having a conversation. So I definitely say try to lean more that route. And like you're talking to me right now, just talk authentically. You know, it's okay to have some pauses. It's okay to say some ups and buts. Like obviously, you want to be professional, but still, I think you should definitely just try your best right now in the generation we're in. Is just authenticity is the most important thing. I think this last year it is just it is exponentially grown in consumers that they just want authenticity. They want healthy and authentic things. They want to just like people that are real.
Yeah, I completely agree. We're seeing that also in ad performance and just in like D2C world in general, like even the scripted UGC ads that were originally the things that were more authentic than the polished ads, even those are starting to go down now if it's over scripted. So yeah, for sure. The numbers on our end, we see the same thing too.
Yeah.
So good.
Wonderful. Guys, this was such a great episode. What a great conversation in this pod. I learned a ton. It was like sitting in a live masterclass. So thank you. And I placed my first order for Haven Skincare.
Hey, there we go. That's awesome.
Notification was me.
I appreciate that, man. There we go. I got an invite one. There we go. That's
I am looking forward to getting because what really sets your product apart is that you're using ingredients that are clean and nothing toxic, nothing harsh, nothing. And yeah, your audience is, you have your primary audience, but I could use some better skin. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, it also depends on your skin goals. I'm being authentic with you right now. We are targeting younger skin for sure. We're not anti-aging, anti-wrinkle right now. We're more like a general healthy skincare. There are some ingredients for acne fighting, but like it definitely will be good for your skin. There's nothing in it that will hurt you. It's not going to clog your pores. It's not going to hurt you at all. It's targeted for the younger demographic, but my parents use it. I have older people that use it all the time. It's definitely going to work on you. It's just not going to be this older, eccentric skincare brand. It's focused on the younger generation, but you definitely, I think you'll like it still.
Final question. Are you running a quiz funnel?
A quiz, like make a quiz?
Yeah, like a quiz funnel for like any type of your content. If they click through, they go to a quiz first and then product page.
Actually, we're in the process of making a skincare quiz as
Nice.
we have that.
Yes.
And then we
Amazing.
also have an email collector. When you go on a website, if you're on it for like 5 or 10 seconds, it pops up like, what do you want to see as the next product? Moisturizer, lip balm, like as other products. And then it's like, okay, this is what you want next. You can then put your email in if you want to be updated with the discount for when that product drops.
Amazing. Love that.
Thank you.
I love, like creator-led brands. We've only managed to work with like 1 or 2 in the past. So like Yami Noob, he's a like motocross YouTuber. Anytime we work with creator-led brands, the way that they operate is so delightful for marketers because we understand distribution. We're like obsessed over distribution, and then all that's left in the back is like care about product.
Yeah.
So it's super fun talking. This type of podcast is my favorite, where I'm just like slathered in sauce because everyone's just flinging sauce everywhere. I'm just covered in it.
You gave me sauce too. You definitely gave me some good sauce.
Yeah, that's the name of the game here. I appreciate you so much for David, you too, for the time we've got here because this was fire.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I mean, I know I'm definitely young. I know sometimes you're like, I don't know if this young guy is gonna be able to speak. So thank you for taking the chance on me to have me on this. I'm super just glad I got to share kind of my perspective and be on this. I love talking on here.
We are going to invite you back because I'm going to continue tracking your growth story. You deserve all the success that's ahead of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll hit you. I'll hit you in the DM and I'll throw you some any types of ads or like funnels that I see.
Awesome. What's
Throw
your
it in.
Instagram so I can make sure I see it?
Yeah, for sure. I'll throw it into the chat.
Awesome.